there, Aquarius. Welcome to your end of September 2025 General Tarot Update. It's Serena here. It is the daytime, but I don't have any overhead lights on, so I like natural light, but it does look a little bit dim, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah. All right. That's good. Okay, so the heart of the matter is the Eight of Swords. This is a card of feeling, I was going to say stuck, but trapped. But you are swords, all the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and the swords represent the mind. They represent communication. They do represent some sort of strife. But Eckhart Tolle, who I believe is like a late degree Aquarius, talks so much about the tyranny of the mind and the thoughts. And so ultimately, it can probably be traced back to something, some idea that a person has that they have to do something, they can't do something. And that could be inner programming. I always think of this card as the old tapes, the what do they call that? Like negative self-talk, that sort of thing. And in the past position, we have the Four of Wands. This is a card of marriage, happy home, joyous home. And now we go to this card. So what is going on here? Well, it could be that something started out nice, like a relationship, and it has devolved into something else. And it's interesting because when I look at the card that represents the higher message, it's the King of Swords. Now, I always associate this card with your sign. It's funny, like I notice here, you see the like blood on the ground. It's almost like the person is indifferent to it. Like you could even say like the blood represents the life force energy. And they're kind of like, this person is standing on top of it. And this deck is actually like female centric, so even even the king is a woman. But just like kind of like indifferent to maybe somebody else's suffering. And that's a very interesting thing because there are different ways to approach this. First of all, it can be that you had a father, because kings can be fathers, who was cut off from his feelings. And that may, especially if you're the same gender, that will affect you more, I think, because a lot of times, but not necessarily, but usually you identify with the parent of the same sex. But so if you're male, maybe you learn to cut off your own feelings in relationships, and now you find yourself trapped because maybe you're kind of repeating the same behavior and that's hurting the relationship. I would say marriage, but it's this card is like marriage, but there are equivalents to that where it might not be exactly that. The other thing is, if you're a woman and you married a man like that because your father was like that, and you feel trapped because you don't understand that you're still operating with those same patterns that are, I don't know if they're totally unconscious, but they're definitely subconscious patterns. And and that keeps you stuck. And yet you might perceive things in a certain way that confuses you and makes you think that it's something else. I look at it as a vicious cycle where someone is thinking that they are either picking a person that is right for them because it's familiar, or that they are behaving in a way that is what they've always done, and it doesn't lead them to what they want. So that's really the ultimate lesson. And then the card that crosses you is the Six of Cups. So there could be something in your past. I think it's like the over idealized past sometimes. Maybe what you wanted that you didn't get, that you're still looking for. I think, Aquarius as a sign itself would never be like that, but you have other placements. You could have the moon in Cancer. You could have Chiron in Cancer, or in Capricorn, the mother one, the father one. You could have, in like if it was like the father one, and you have your son at an early degree of Aquarius on the cusp with Capricorn, and you have Capricorn a late degree Chiron and Capricorn. You could have the sun in conjunction with Chiron. And even though, on paper you don't seem very emotional, it could be totally emotional. Or the moon. The moon would be even more so, but the sun is like the wounding of the self. But whatever's going on, the past, this is why I do feel that it's like the old tapes or the old programming from the past, from your childhood, family of origin stuff. Six of Cups I think Six of Cups might be Cancer, but it's like also children and things like that. If that has been, because you see here, this is like the family life, feeling like it didn't turn out the way that you thought it was going to. And part of it, maybe it is because you are cut off and you can't properly bond with your spouse, you can't properly bond with your children, and maybe you feel like you didn't get the childhood that you wanted. And you're still looking for something that, that ship has sailed, and you can give all those things to yourself. Or maybe it's some dream that you had, something that you wanted to do since you were a child. I usually think of artistic pursuits, and people go into different, this is the wands are creativity. So you may be awakening to that again. And sometimes when we awaken to something, it brings up all of the pain or the conflict within ourselves. And that's good. That's actually good, because they'll help you to move forward instead of just staying in this kind of nowhere land in between two different points. What's coming in? Three of Pentacles. This can be a card of children, of conceiving children. It's a card of money. It's a good card for money. It's funny that they're showing like art, because the number 3, I think, is connected to creativity. So anything, and maybe it's suggesting that you could make money through your art, but it's also a card of teamwork in your work matters. So maybe it's even enlisting other people to have your creative dreams come true. But it is a good card for money. And the outcome card is the Magician, and this is really about conscious co-creation. So the person who is not allowing life to happen to them. They're going out and creating what it is that they want. That is this is the true idea of magic. I wonder if there was kind of a hijacking of this idea of magic and making it into something that's almost like random, and that it doesn't have anything to do with the person actually pursuing what it is that they want and creating it for themselves. That it's just like, pulling a rabbit out of a hat. When it could be rolling up your sleeves and doing a lot of the stuff that it takes to make something happen. And that you can find joy in that as well. It's not something that you have to try to avoid. But I think the main thing is the absence of passivity, going after what you want, because this can feel like that your hands are tied, that there's nothing you can do about a situation, that you're stuck. The magician is very creative. All right, that's what I have for you. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, be it astrology, the tarot, or both, please click on the link below for more details. Thanks for watching. Bye.